Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another sizzling episode of Fame Flame, the series where we turn the heat up on the world's most notable figures. I'm your host, Andrew Tate, four-time kickboxing world champion, and a man who knows a thing or two about stepping into the ring. But today we aren't talking punches and high kicks, no. We're stepping into a different arena altogether. We've had some colorful characters here before, but none quite as green as our guest tonight. She's been a Times Person of the Year, the face of a global movement, and a consistent thorn in the side of climate change deniers. Now, the girl who's known for her fiery speeches and frosty stares at world leaders, Greta Thunberg. Can she take the heat or will she retreat? Buckle up, folks. It's time to light the fame flame.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here tonight to roast a man that I really respect. In fact, he's probably the only person in this room who respects himself more than I respect him. Please give it up for Andrew Tate. Now, some of you might be wondering, who is Andrew Tate? Well, let me save you the trouble of a quick Google search. Andrew is a four-time world kickboxing champion, online entrepreneur, and reality TV star. He's basically the result of what happens when you ask the Make-A-Wish Foundation for a Ken doll who can kick ass. Andrew was a contestant on the UK version of Big Brother. He got kicked off the show for being too offensive. Too offensive for Big Brother, folks. That's like being too drunk for a Nick Nolte party. Tate is known for his iron will, self-discipline, and arrogant attitude. He's like if Elon Musk and Kanye West had a baby, and that baby grew up to hate poor people. And speaking of poor people, Andrew has this philosophy about not being poor. He says poverty is a choice. So I guess in that case, being a douchebag is also a choice, Andrew. You see, Andrew Tate is one of the toughest guys in the world. On Twitter, the dude has more tweet battles than actual fights. But he doesn't just talk trash online, he also runs an online business. Yeah, he sells fitness and business courses. I mean, who needs a college degree when you can learn everything you need to know from a guy who spent the majority of his life getting kicked in the head? Andrew, you're so full of yourself. You're the one person I know who'd need an ego weight limit to get on a plane. I mean, you keep telling everyone how you're the best at everything. At this point, I'm surprised you haven't claimed to be the best at being humble. But hey, let's talk about your kickboxing. You've got 4 world titles. Now that's impressive, except for the fact that they're in different weight categories. I'm no expert, but it seems like your weight fluctuates more than Oprah's. You also fancy yourself a chess player. Now, I've seen you play, Andrew. Your strategy is about as subtle as a bull in a china shop. I've seen toddlers with a more sophisticated understanding of strategy. The last time I saw someone make such terrible decisions, they ended up with a face tattoo. I know you fancy yourself a ladies' man, Andrew. You've claimed to have been with hundreds of women. But if your performance in the ring is any indication, I'm guessing those encounters lasted about as long as a Vine video. And yes, we know, you're not just muscles and shiny cars. You're smart too. As a matter of fact, you're the only guy I know who can count to infinity. Twice. All while doing one-arm push-ups. Is there anything you can't do, Andrew? Well, aside from keeping a low profile and owning a shirt, of course, now, it's not all bad. Andrew does have a lot of admirable qualities, like his incredible ability to turn a simple conversation about the weather into a sales pitch for his online programs. I swear, the man could convince a fish to buy a bicycle and then make it feel guilty for not riding it enough. Now, Andrew, buddy, I don't want to insult your intelligence. You're doing such a great job of that, all on your own. I mean, your ability to come across as a total tool while thinking you're the smartest person in the room is truly an art form. I heard you once said that depression doesn't exist. Well, Andrew, I've read your Twitter feed. If depression didn't exist before, you're certainly giving it a run for its money. But you know what, Andrew? Despite all your faults, there's one thing no one can deny. You are a persistent son of a gun. You've taken more shots than a dartboard, been knocked down more times than a bowling pin, yet here you are, still standing. Or should I say, still staggering. So, let's raise our glasses to Andrew. He may be a flawed, loud, self-proclaimed genius, but he's our flawed, loud, self-proclaimed genius. And at the end of the day, isn't that what truly matters? All right, I'm out. Remember, folks, life's too short to be a jerk. Unless you're Andrew Tate. In that case, it seems to be working out just fine. Good night, everybody.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes another blazing episode of Fame Flame. It was quite something watching the normally cool and composed Greta Thunberg feel the heat today. Despite her passionate pleas to save the world, it's clear that even she isn't safe from the scorching roast on our show. I'm Andrew Tate, reminding you that no matter how famous, influential, or globally recognized you are, nobody is immune to a bit of friendly roasting. So stay tuned for our next episode when we'll spark the flame under another famous hot seat. Until then, remember, in the furnace of fame, it's all fair game. Thanks for watching, and good night.